Once again, we are talking Raider football. I'm Danny Man, aka Daniel's son, and Raiders versus Bears. What's the takeaway of that game? Well, 1, fire McDaniels. 2, fire McDaniels. 3, fire McDaniels. You know what? Let's sprinkle a 4 in there. We got everybody saying the Raider locker room does not have confidence in Josh McDaniels. And I think we've been seeing this all week, how Josh McDaniels is, everybody wants him fired, this and that. I mean, the Marcus Peters not even doing anything on the field. I'm sure Josh and Marcus have had a little talk. The team going against the Bears looked flat. It was an ugly game for the Raiders. It started off actually not too bad in the first drive, but you know, Hoyer was obviously not the guy. Everybody wanted O'Connell to start. Raiders defense got smacked. The run game for the Bears just really took over and killed the Raiders defense and made the quarterback on the Bears look like a Pro Bowl Hall of Famer. But everybody's takeaway is that this locker room has lost it. They're done. I don't think they're with Josh McDaniels anymore. But here's the thing. I'm gonna throw you a little curveball because I've been saying we need to get rid of Josh McDaniels. All the YouTubers have been saying we need to get rid of Josh McDaniels. Mitch has been saying on Raider Report, time to get rid of Josh McDaniels, having leaks from players saying how the aura is in the locker room, what they're at, what they're feeling, and all that stuff. But here's the thing. We're not going to get rid of Josh McDaniels. Mark Davis, twice we've seen this, or actually I should say 3 times, seen the emotion on Mark Davis's and how he's wearing it on his sleeve, talking to the Raider fans, kicking out Raider fans in the stands, having signs to fire Josh McDaniels. One of the Raiders kind of went up to a Raider fan at the WNBA parade, going up to Mark and saying, "Smarten up, you need to fire McDaniels." And you know, Mark Davis didn't take too kindly to that. But here's the thing, Josh McDaniels will probably not be fired until next year. At best, towards the end of the year. Mark Davis is going to see where this team goes. We're 3-4. You know, we're second in our division. Chargers are looking horrible, or at least losing games. Broncos are horrible. KC, once again, the top of the mountain. So Mark Davis is seeing us in second place, and I think he's saying we still need to ride with Josh McDaniels. Even though we see it, the players are absolute. You can see it in the players' face. You can see their play. You can see it, the frustration building around the organization. Once again, that this guy is not the guy to lead the team. You see people outside of the organization. You see Warren Sapp telling you how it is. You're seeing a lot of guys saying this guy is not a Raider, or not even a head coach. He's just not a good head coach. But it doesn't matter. Mark Davis hasn't invested way too much money, way too much time, I think way too much money on Josh McDaniels, who's getting paid as one of the top coaches in the NFL who hasn't proven anything. So Mark Davis is not going to fire him. And if he does, it's not going to be until there really is no hope for the Raiders to build anything or even get anywhere towards the end of the season. Like the only way Mark Davis fires Josh McDaniels if they really lose a lot of games. And even then, I wouldn't be surprised if Josh McDaniels actually ends up sticking with the Raiders until next year, just because he would probably whisper in Mark Davis's ear, listen, prospects, you got QB prospects in the draft. We might hit one with a home run. We still don't have a quarterback. The plan is build a team and then get the final piece in a quarterback, maybe in a draft. But you know, I do also believe that he is on the hot seat. I mean, if he goes on such a losing streak that we've never seen before, this team is not averaging over 20 points. It's been dismal. Last weekend was just terrible. This is an offense that has so many Pro Bowlers that are just not putting up points. I'm going to not only, the blame is Josh McDaniels for bringing in the guys that he wanted, and it's just not clicking and it's not working. But the other blame is, you know what? Look at Josh Jacobs, man. Look at this guy and his running and him going up a lot of these are missing kind of holes or going up the holes that he did last year, but break runs and really, I mean, you could say it's the offensive line, but the offensive line, when it comes to the passing, hasn't been too bad. But I feel like Josh Jacobs has lost either a step or a burst or just a mentality of gaining a lot of yards. He's not, I'm not just going to put it on the O-line. I'm going to put it on Josh Jacobs. I watch him run in a lot of these games, especially the Bears game, and there's just really like nothing there. There's nothing that there's moves he's making. There's holes he's hitting that he would have absolutely took it to the house, got a big gain last year. These are the same kind of running holes that he hit last year, but he's not hitting this year. It's like he was lucky in Vegas. He was hitting the slots. He was winning big, but then all of a sudden his luck has ran out. So I'm also going to put some of that heat on Josh Jacobs, but not only Josh Jacobs, but, you know, Devante Adams spoke up saying that he needed the ball, but he dropped a crucial pass on the end zone. So, no, it's not all on Josh McDaniels, which I think majority it is, but this team, I think, is giving up on Josh McDaniels, and this team is not playing to a higher level than they could be as well. If you're going to talk the talk, you need to walk the walk. Josh Jacobs has been talking the talk, and he hasn't shown really anything. And it doesn't really fall too much on. I'm not going to give it all the blame to the players. I'm just going to say step it up a little bit. But, I mean, the play calling is horrendous. The play calling in the red zone, the play calling in general with these tricked moves, with the same vanilla plays, the plays that you could see a mile away, it's not working. It's not smart football. It's not smart play calling. But the majority does rely on Josh McDaniels. But here's the thing. Mark is not going to fire Josh. If he's not hasn't fired him now, he's not going to fire him anytime soon. He wants to see where this team goes. Like I said, if it's a losing streak and it's really bad losses, this is a bad loss. To the Bears, it's probably the worst loss of the season because it's the Bears. It's his quarterback who hasn't proven anything. That was Division II. And he's looking like a Pro Bowl against the Raiders. The Raiders defense that has been playing not too shabby. So all bad. All bad with this Raiders organization. And I mean, I hate to say it, but we're looking at another big-time rebuild. We're wasting Devante Adams' talent. I honestly think this guy's going to want to trade. Maybe not this year, but next year. We are wasting his talent, I think, honestly. I just hope that we keep Mad Max. I hope we keep Max Crosby because I'm being selfish on this one. Max Crosby, I mean, we're going to lose Hunter Renfrow. We might lose Devante Adams. But if one of the Raiders I want to keep is Max Crosby, he'd be the only saving grace and the only reason why I'd go to Raider games to really watch this team. I'll watch this team on the TV, but to pay and go see the games is to see this guy and how he performs and getting sacks and stuff. So he's such a beast. He has the shield on his arm. He is committed to the Raiders, and I feel bad for him. I know he's getting sick of this shit. He wants to win. He wants to be in a winning organization. But for a Raider fan, I'm being selfish, and I would love for him to stick around until hopefully, like, this team does get better down the road. And I have seen organizations really kind of pick it up and kind of like it's not going to, you know, kind of turn the tables in a fast way. Look at the Lions. Even though the Lions got their ass kicked last weekend, by the time of this recording, they're still doing a lot better than they have in the past. It took some time, but with Dan Campbell last year, it wasn't good. It wasn't good enough to get them to the playoffs, but they really kind of turned it around. They got pieces and in a fast way. I think the Raiders can do that. Any team can do that, but the Raiders absolutely can do that because they do have a lot of great talent. It's just, it's being wasted. Another wasted kind of pick is Nate Hobbs, man. Every game, where's Nate Hobbs? Where's Nate Hobbs? This injury. It's getting frustrating. And he was one of the bright spots on this Raiders defense, and we need a guy like him to be back on the field. Jacoby Myers still doing his thing. I would like to see Aiden O'Connell play this next game. Obviously, Hoyer was not the guy. I don't know if O'Connell will do this any better, but like everybody says, it's better to see what we got than what we don't have, you know, or let this guy go and be a baller somewhere else. You just never know. Josh McDaniels, though, he he's not going to go anywhere. He's not going to go anywhere soon. We could bitch. We can cry. We could hope in the morning we see release Josh McDaniels. I would love to see it. I would love to see this Raider team really kind of, I don't know, man. I mean, technically we're record-wise, we're not doing bad at this point. But I think we could all see it. I think the players absolutely sees it, especially with Devante Adams. This is a team that's really getting shitty wins, really not producing as they should. And you talk to a Raider fan like, then you guys won, or guys, you know, not too bad. You guys in second place. It's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling moving forward. And you just never know. Maybe we could turn it around, but the constant of the same shit that's happening every week, it really does feel like we're not going to turn it around. And we have a easier, I mean, we should have beat the Bears. It should have happened. That on paper and just the feel of it, we should have beat the Bears, but we didn't. And it seems like every time we play the Bears, we're flat. Like every time we play the Bears, especially when Gruden got outed, you just knew that after the second half, and you just see how the team was playing, the Raiders, you saw them not coming back. You knew that this game was over, and that was the same feeling last weekend. So that's my thoughts on Josh McDaniels and the whole firing thing. I don't think he's going to go anywhere. I think he's going to stick around for a little bit. It's going to take a lot of losses and streak of losses for him to go out this year, but we might be stuck with him next year. But I think if it happens next year if I'm a betting man. But, I mean, the Vegas are betting that Josh McDaniels gets fired this year. So it might happen. I don't know. But Mark Davis seems to still roll with this guy. And Raider Nation, we're not going to have just win baby attitude if we move forward with this head coach. I do hope we could like string some wins at least. You know, like I said in my last video, I want people who go watch the Raider games to enjoy themselves and actually come out of it with a dub and be happy. But you can't be really feeling good about this current team. And you can only feel good about current, like some players like Max Crosby and stuff. But maybe things change at the trade deadline. Maybe Mark sees what Josh does at the trade deadline. And Ziegler, but they got to make smart moves. Absolutely smart moves. Help the defense out. The defense still needs a lot of help, coverage-wise, defensive line-wise. Quarterback-wise, we're stuck with Garoppolo. We're stuck with Hoyer. We're stuck with O'Connell. There's nothing you could do. You have to roll with them this year. And I think Jimmy is the best option of winning. The problem is the dude's always hurt. He does make bad mistakes as well. But we paid this guy, so we got to play him. We paid him. I want to see what this, you know, you got to put him out there. Jacoby's benefiting from Jimmy. I think Adams benefits a little bit more with Jimmy as well. But we'll see what O'Connell does in his second game. I think you got to put him in and see if he does anything. I think devante would actually be happy with O'Connell playing. But the team is it's only good when you win. It's terrible when you lost or you just feel like you're not getting the ball or whatever, like devante is. So even if O'Connell comes in with the dub, but the game rolls and it's just really, really bad and shitty, I mean, is there a bright spot in that really? You're going to have another devante who's kind of disgruntled and saying, I don't know what's going to happen in the future and stuff. What I'm saying is basically, you're going to have to roll with the Raiders this year, what they are, what they could have been, but they're not. You got to roll with them. Whoever quarterback is under the center, this is the team we got. This is the team we got. I've seen crazy things happen in the Super Bowl. I've seen the Seahawks go to the Super Bowl, and they're a garbage team. They were a garbage team that year. But, you know, you just never know. There's a couple moves away that maybe helps us with momentum, but I don't know. I think Raider Nation goes, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. It's frustrating. It's hard being a Raider fan, but it is what it is. So thank you guys for listening. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. We'd like you to push the notification button or the bell. And let me know down in the comments. Hashtag fire McDaniels. Do you think he's going to go this year or next year? I'm Daddy Man, Mcdaniels' son. Until next time, we talk to Raiders. I'll see you guys.